Chapter 5, here we are. This is where they're asking what does the still winter mean. Remember the still winter and whatnot. We do know what the still winter mean, and to Lasethi that's a threat, so we're gonna say it sounds like a threat, but it is not in the guide because this is not an important decision. Sounds like a threat. Sounds like a threat to me. I would most certainly fit Aiden's way of doing things as we've seen it so far. He sends us to fight his enemies, then have a good laugh about it afterwards. Whatever. Now here's another one. We hear a woman screaming, which we know is Rose, by the way, and we have seen this before because there's actually a secondary choice, because I have done the choice call there and head for rescue, which we are going to do in this moment as well. But if you ignore her and then when Darren goes and saves her, you can go like, ah yes, I wanted to save you, and you get an achievement called shameless or whatever, and that's pretty funny. You can get that if you want, but we're gonna go with call Darren and head for the rescue. We already read everything here. It's just Kate surrounded by a bunch of goblins or something like that, and defeat them and whatnot. As soon as they see us, one of them yells something to their allies. Yeah, this is the goblins talking to each other, and I have ancient language, so I can actually read something here. Yell something to his ally. I suddenly realized he's speaking one of the ancient languages that my sight device has taught me. A human voice says, forget the woman, retreat. Wait, I call out to him in their language. Human speaks our language? Yes. Now tell me, why did you attack the woman? Because we are starving, human. We weren't going to kill her. We just wanted to take the food she carries in a backpack. Why are you out here robbing people? Shouldn't your clan be providing you with food and shelter? We were banished from our clans 2 days ago. We did not have money to pay our yearly tribute. Now we are outcast. We live from scraps. We don't even know how to tell the difference between poisonous and edible berries, so we can't live off the land. How much was the yearly tribute for the 4 of you? 2 copper pieces. 2 copper pieces? That's purely the price of a loaf of bread. Come to think of it, humans can't really work for goblins can't really work for humans openly since they're considered monsters. There are people that are known to smuggle goods and weapons to goblins, but they are rare and operate outside the law. Shouldn't be surprising that money is a lot more valuable for them than for us. I have money to spare. The question is, do I want to give even 2 copper pieces away for some monster who attacked a defenseless woman just a minute ago? Guide says we are supposed to help the goblins, so we'll give them 2 copper pieces. Oh, this is the achievement I did not get. Achievement unlocked, a good deed. I grabbed 2 copper pieces out of my right pocket and tossed them over to the goblins. The leader caught the 2 coins from the air and looking at them as he can't believe his eyes. What is the meaning of this? He asked me. 2 copper pieces for your yearly tribute. Now go back to your clan and stop robbing people. No, I don't believe you. It's a trap. Don't listen to a word he says. It has to be a trap. Excuse me, Mr. Goblin. I do not recognize the voice. As I turn around to see who just spoke, I realized the woman that we saved from the goblins. Now to get a look at her, I am briefly stunned by how beautiful she is. She has long auburn hair, a thin waist and a warm smile, while her facial features are soft and feminine. Unlike those of Kate, her light brown eyes radiate kindness. She is wearing an auburn dress to match her hair, and she appears to be somewhere in her mid-20s. In her hand, she is holding some blueberries that she has gotten, now showing the goblins. Now, this is a thing that I'm very interested in. Like, she's actually married, right? Her husband died. Or no, wait. No, that was not the case. Her husband actually divorced her because he was like, yeah, I want to live the life of a harem or whatever. And she was like, nah, I want to do monogamy. And he was like, all right, let's just, get a divorce and I'll give you this house because I have multiple houses. And that's what's happened. That's really interesting. That's so fucking it's an unexpected thing to see in anywhere, any media really, but this is really cool. Whatever. I've heard you talking about having trouble distinguishing between edible and poisonous berries. I thought I might be able to help. You can understand us too? Yes, although not as good as this man standing beside me. I only got half of what you're discussing, but enough to understand why you attacked me back there. I'm a herbalist, so I know quite a bit about plants. Although I can't teach you all I know, I can tell you a general rule that you can follow in order to make sure they don't get poisonous. You should stick to blueberries as they're common enough to be found in any region of this continent, and even the most poisonous of them only give you a stomachache at most. As for finding the ones that are not poisonous, enough to look for blueberries that are of dark colors. Only light blueberries are dangerous. She is one of the dark blueberries as she's holding in order to demonstrate she's not lying. He then throws a bag full of them over to the goblin leader. Yeah, I'm sure you will make much better use of these berries than I am. I only just ate, and I please don't attack defenseless people anymore. The goblin seems almost paralyzed. He hesitates to take one of the berries and eats it. Once he sees for himself that it is not poisoned, he starts to cry. As he sobs, one of his goblin friends come to hug him and they start crying together. So this is what it's like to be a goblin. I never knew. The woman with the auburn hair is looking at the goblins and smiling happily. It's incredible how happy she can be for some monsters that were about to rob her blind a few minutes ago. Once he regains control of himself, the goblin leader turns back to us and says, "Humans, I will never forget your kindness. I Uluk what? Uluk Mithun, whatever name is that. Vow that I will repay this debt to both of you and we'll meet again until then." Now this is very interesting because we have actually met two people now. We have met two people now that actually we have met two people now that the fucking deer and now the goblins that we have not met before, because the last time the deer we didn't even understand, and the next time I think we just killed the goblins, so we didn't get shit out of it. So this is very interesting. This is very interesting. Meet again until then. The goblin puts his left hand on his stomach and his right hand on his chest. The rest of the goblins mimic his gesture and they all say together, Tunak Madar. Tunak Madar, if I'm not mistaken from what the stat devices taught me, I gather that is one of the highest forms of respect and gratitude that exist in their language. It has no translation in either language that even comes close to its meaning. As the goblins leave, I turn around to see that Darren is frowning hard and rubbing his forehead while Kate is just standing there looking at us with her jaw dropped. Alright, says Darren, can someone explain to me what just happened? The woman laughs softly. I'm sorry, she says. I realize this whole situation might have seemed really strange if you don't understand what we were saying. In order, they've been exiled from their clan 2 days ago due to lack of money. But I thought she didn't understand that. Due to lack of money, and they had to resort to petty theft in order to not die of hunger. So we helped them as much as we could. But where are my manners? My name is Rose. Thank you all for your help. I don't know what could I have done without you. This choice is not, determined by the fucking what is it called? This is not an important choice, so we can make whatever choice we want. All in a day's work. You were lucky that we managed to make it in time. No problem. We love helping people. We also accept donations. That's ridiculous. All in a day's work. You already read this. I'm pretty damn sure I've read this, but I'll read it again. All in a day's work. I tell her. Oh, she asks, smiling playfully. I take it that the reason you have joined this tournament to help people in need. Well, I don't mind Barry. Duran says he just likes to boast in front of pretty ladies. As you may have guessed, we are just in part. Yeah, we already read all this. Now we are supposed to choose here, how did the creator live so long? So we'll go with that. How did the creator live so long? From what you're telling us, he must have lived at least a few hundred years. Yes, that is one of the reasons why there are even more and more people that don't believe in his existence anymore. It's already been a long time since he disappeared, and he didn't really show himself to many people before either. It was mostly only members of the royal families that got to see him. There are many that say that the creator was simply an invention of the kings, and that they are using this disappearance as an excuse in order to keep the power to create food for themselves. In some of the cities, these groups... Yeah, we already read all this. Alright, the Darren says that we are coming with you to your home or whatever. I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. And the kid is like, you too? Disappointed. Well, it's not like we have anything to do until they give us an objective and we are looking for a safe place and all that. Yeah, we already read all this. Yeah, this is kind of funny actually. This is like a fight that happens between Kate and a mage, and she kills one of them and the other one goes away when he attacks Rose. I do remember that. So he says, once the two of them get far enough away, Kate turns to Rose and says, I've changed my mind. I would be honored to serve as your escort until you reach your hometown. I'm sorry for having misjudged you. What you just did was very brave and heroic, because Rose probably jumped in front of Kate or whatever, and it caused the spell to teleport him out of the tournament or whatnot. Really, because to me it was just seemed reckless and stupid. Since when do we appreciate bravery and heroism? I'm gonna go with that. Kate, who is standing right beside me, punches me in the right shoulder. Her punch was strong enough to leave a decent bruise. Damn it, Kate, have you ever heard of moderation? Shut up, you asked for it. I was trying to be nice and you ruined the moment. Well, but being nice doesn't suit you. Now, punching people on the other hand. Rose, yeah, I've already read all this.